Today, Bitcoin slides to kick off the week. Sam Altman of OpenAI launches his crypto project Worldcoin, and Peck of WisdomTree breaks down the company's vision for digital asset trading and tokenization. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Digital currencies are kicking off the week in the red. Bitcoin tumbled to just above the $29,000 level. Ether slumped to $1,842, while Polygon's Matic token dropped to 72 cents. All right, let's talk about the top stories. Binance reportedly knew it inflated trading volumes on its U.S. exchange when it launched in 2019. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, internal messages showed that when Binance launched its exchange in the U.S. in 2019, nearly $70,000 of Bitcoin changed hands in the first hour. But the demand likely didn't come from external traders. CEO Changpeng Zhao reportedly responded to the trading activity by saying, quote, "That was ourself, I think." The SEC's lawsuit against Binance US and CZ claimed the firm inflated trading volumes and operated an unregistered securities exchange. We reached out to Binance US this morning, but didn't hear back right away. Next, Celsius has reached a settlement with creditors to help it exit bankruptcy. According to court documents, Celsius reached an agreement over customers' claims of fraud. The deal would resolve about $78 billion in claims by offering a 5% increase in compensation for customer holdings not tied up in the firm's interest-bearing product. Customers originally saw damages over claims of fraud and misrepresentation, but the settlement would allow the company to move forward with its restructuring plan and start repaying customers by the end of the year. Last, Worldcoin, the crypto project launched by OpenAI's Sam Altman, has gone live. Altman pointed users to the firm's website, which touted the network as a way to create, quote, a new identity and financial network owned by everyone. Worldcoin's key feature is its digital identity service, where users sign up through its app, then visit an orb for retina scanning and identity verification. They'll then receive a digital passport and world tokens for the trouble. The technology has been called ambitious, but also faced criticism for exploitative practices in recruiting users in poorer countries. All right, on to our main story. WisdomTree launched its own digital asset-focused app earlier this month, WisdomTree Prime, although no retina scanning involved. Prime lets users trade crypto and tokenized versions of assets like gold. Last week, I caught up with Peck, the company's head of digital assets, to discuss the launch of Prime and WisdomTree's vision for tokenization. WisdomTree launched Prime, your app for digital assets. Walk me through what this app unlocks for users and what the availability looks like right now in the US.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jordan. WisdomTree Prime went live last week in 21 states. So WisdomTree Prime is a personal finance app. It's a digital wallet that allows users to save, spend, and invest using digital assets and digital funds. So what's really interesting about WisdomTree Prime is it's all blockchain native. And all the assets that we're delivering that are actually true digitally native on-chain assets, like digital assets like Bitcoin, Ether, or tokenized gold, as well as digital funds, which are a new registered fund structure with a tokenized share record that allows users to hold equities, bonds, other securities within this kind of new vehicle. So WisdomTree Prime is a pathway to save, spend, invest using all these digital assets and funds.
So now that you're a few days in, can you walk me through what the demand has been like for this? What are some of the benefits for users that are coming in and trying to use this app?
Yeah, the demand is great so far. We're not disclosing metrics yet, but it's been a great initial start to this, and we're looking forward to continuing to, roll out marketing and enter additional states in the coming months. So, the main benefits I see from tokenization are transparency, standardization, and liquidity. And we're starting to see that in the app, and we'll add more features over time that will bring these forward, really to connect saving, spending, investing to make this a one-stop shop for somebody's personal finance needs.
Is tokenization part of WisdomTree's wider strategy for the future of investing? Some people on Wall Street are really pointing to that this year. You're seeing resurgence of tokenization as the future of Wall Street. But at the same time, I think you have the SEC saying, there are other functions that we can use to speed up trades or make trades a little more efficient. Is tokenization the way of the future?
We think tokenization is the way of the future, and it's nothing against some of the other efforts that are going on with the SEC or, movement from T+2 to T+1 settlement. All of these are moving in parallel processing. But I think you're certainly seeing a major change on Wall Street where, 2 years ago, a lot of people were focused on crypto. And now I think people are recognizing, crypto has a role as an investment, a role in a portfolio. But there's a lot of power in blockchain technology and what we call blockchain-enabled finance. So it's, for me, head of digital assets focused on tokenization. One of the most interesting things has been 2 years ago, no one really understood what I did. And today, every major firm has someone like me working on similar projects. So, WisdomTree feels like we've got an early mover advantage here, and we're looking forward to continuing to press it and bring in actually the real benefits of this technology to users through WisdomTree Prime.
I do think that there are still some challenges that people are addressing. Like you have Australia's securities exchange saying, we were going to use blockchain, but we're backing away from it. Maybe this isn't going to work for us in the way that we need. What are some of the challenges you still see ahead, both from your business specifically and for tokenization broadly?
Yeah, I mean, I can't comment specifically on what went with ASX, but we're focused on use cases, right? A lot of people have been building POCs and trying to do kind of one-off things and demonstrating something, which is great, but doesn't really necessarily go there. And from our point of view, we wanted to actually get regulatory kind of go through the regulatory front doors and actually bring product to market that benefits for consumers and learn from there. So, WisdomTree Prime is really our first example of that. We'll be continuing to add features, launch products, and deliver these tokenized exposures through other means as well. And we look forward to continuing to press on with that.
I can't let you go without asking about the spot Bitcoin ETF proposal. I do want to know why now. Why are we seeing this wave of interest in these spot Bitcoin ETF proposals? What's changed between the denial from the SECs in the past and now? What's moving that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the big change has been, I'd say, the openness potentially to a surveillance sharing agreement from a large spot market. In the past, the SEC has really denied the applications on the basis of potential for market manipulation and the lack of a surveillance sharing agreement from the ETF listing exchange with a market of sufficient size. And I think a lot of people in the past would make the argument that the CME futures market was a market of sufficient size that had a surveillance sharing agreement in place. Price discovery was happening there. Now, in addition to that, there's also a potential or existing surveillance sharing agreement between Coinbase and a potential ETF listing exchange as well. So I'd say that was the big kind of impetus that led to a lot of these new filings. Obviously, I can't comment on our own specific filing. I've got no crystal ball in terms of how this will go, but I think a lot of people see the benefits that a Bitcoin ETF would provide in the United States, and so it's not surprising that there's interest in it.
When you're looking out at the landscape of regulation in the U.S., obviously the SEC is maybe a barrier or at least a hurdle to clear for a lot of businesses or areas of this technology. But what about legislation from Congress? Is there anything that you're watching or hopeful for when we come to legislation there? Because it's been slow going while you have the EU moving forward with MiCA, some other regions around the world pressing ahead with legislation.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's tough to know with our current Congress. It doesn't seem like, as things currently stand, anything's really getting through, even though there's an interesting bipartisan coalition that's interested in kind of improving the regulatory clarity around crypto, around stablecoins, around blockchain broadly. So, I certainly don't have a crystal ball with Congress. I think a lot of people tell me that it's unlikely that anything will get passed soon, but it is interesting to see the bills, to see the hearings, to see people focused on it, trying to learn the lessons from FTX and other debacles that frankly continue to seem to be happening with some of the crypto native startups that come in without the right, I'd say, regulatory and risk management mindset is maybe a better way to say it, and some were frankly outright frauds. But I think there's recognition that from financial services broadly, from a lot of the startups doing the things the right way, that this can actually be a real way to keep the U.S. at the kind of the forefront of financial innovation. And it's important to be forward thinking in that. So interesting bipartisan coalition, different people focused on this. We'll see what happens and looking forward to tracking that going forward.
All right, that's all for Crypto World today, but we'll be back again tomorrow and we'll see you then.